See people talking about pistol shotguns like they're a viable defensive tool. And all I have to say to that, as somebody who trains hundreds of people every year on the firing line, as somebody who trains millions of people in the use of defensive force, my answer to a pistol shotgun, whether it is a Smith & Wesson Governor or a Taurus Judge, is no. Now I get it, this is gonna cause hate and this is gonna cause all kinds of problems, but listen to me, hear me out here, okay? I think these are a poor choice for a defensive tool for anything other than snakes out at while you're hiking or whatever. And I know some people are not gonna like me on that, but it is what it is. We're here today at azfirearms.com. This is an incredible gun shop owned by my friends Danny and Cheryl Todd. And they have allowed me to come and talk to you about that here at their incredible gun shop, and I'm very grateful to that. And if you are at all in the Phoenix area, come and see them. Their gun shop is amazing, and they have some crazy NFA items in here for you to check out. Now, if you want to come and buy one of these guys, you can. This is the Smith & Wesson version. It's called the Governor. This is the Taurus version. It's called the Judge. The difference here, you have a much longer barrel on the Judge. They're both 3-inch and those things. And people tend to like these guns for a couple reasons. Number one, they like them because they say, well, it can load 410 shotgun shells or 45 long Colt. Some of them, the Governor here, can even with moon clips load 45 ACP. But I think the problem is that when you try to get a gun that does many things well, it doesn't do anything well. And I would far rather you get a gun that does what you want it to do well rather than a gun that doesn't, like this. First things first with these guys. People think, oh, okay, well, wait a minute. I can shoot a guy with 410 and that will dissuade him. No, it won't, guys. Birdshot is for birds. So if you load this sucker with birdshot, the problem is you have a rifled barrel here, and that rifled barrel sends this little bitty birdshot spinning, and it spins crazy wide, and you get terrible patterns at anything beyond contact distance. And if it's contact distance that you shoot somebody, well, guess what? Anything will do. And the average gunfight that we see starts anywhere from 3 to 7 yards for the initial shooting. And I'll tell you what, at 3 yards, I don't guarantee that I can get all the pellets on target with birdshot out of this guy. Now, I know somebody's gonna say, but John, Winchester makes the PDX for 410 specifically for the pistol shotgun. Yeah, they do, but it doesn't meet the FBI standards for penetration, and it certainly doesn't do you a good job in expansion. The PDX-1 isn't a terrible round. And I know somebody's gonna bring up that Shooting the Bull 410 did a ballistics look, and he did that out of a short barrel and a long barrel Judge of the Lehigh Defender, this big 220 grain extreme spread. Well, the problem with that, guys, it did get incredible spread out of clear gelatin and only got a maximum of 11 inches of penetration. Now, the FBI standard of 12 to 18 inches, 12 is the bare minimum. They really want 15 inches of penetration in calibrated gelatin, not in clear gel where you tend to get more penetration than in calibrated gel. And the reason for that is, bad guy sticks a gun up at you like this, you might have a round that has to get through his arm, through his clothes, and into a vital area, and that's not uncommon at all. So that 12 to 18 inches is a bare minimum. 12 is so bare minimum, I want 15, and literally no chambering offered in this, and even the Lehigh stuff doesn't even come close to that kind of penetration. So I can't guarantee you that that's gonna correlate to good defensive stoppages with this kind of a pistol. Now, I know somebody else is gonna say, but John, it can load 45 Colt. Okay, let's talk about that for a minute. The 45 long Colt cartridge began its life as a black powder cartridge. It was kind of reconfigured for smokeless powder later, but guys, if you have a slug that's coming out of this, the 45 Colt and the speeds that you get out of the 45 Colt, why instead of that would you not go with something like an actual 44 Magnum? This right here, by the way, a Smith & Wesson Model 29. This is like the Harry Callahan special. You know, when you pick this gun up and you look at it, you gotta go, you know, gotta ask yourself one question, punk. Did he shoot 5 shots or 6? I gotta be honest with you, in all the commotion, I forgot myself, so do you feel lucky, punk? Do you? You have to. You just have to repeat that line. Guys, a 44 Magnum, obviously I can either load high power 44 mags, medium power 44 mags, I can load 44 specials in this, and it is going to perform much better in ballistics than 45 Colt, certainly out of this short barrel, and even 45 Colt out of this long barrel. The 45 Colt just doesn't push a bullet fast enough to really do the things you want to do out of a big bore, whereas a 44 Magnum does, and will be far better for you and actually operate. The only place I see a 410 pistol and a shotgun pistol, the only place that I think it has any utility whatsoever is for snakes. Now that said, if you were going to run snakes and you're worried about that, I live in Arizona, right? I mean, we have snakes out here when we're out, walking around the area. You can get venomous snakes out here. I wouldn't even carry one of these for venomous snakes. Quite frankly, if you're worried about venomous snakes, what I would carry is a 45 with snake shot in it. And you can get a double stack 45 with snake shot in it, and it'll function okay. And again, you might say, but I get 5 out of this, but it's so wide, you're not going to get what you want. So price points too. This guy here, right now here at the shop is about 460 bucks. And so people see this and they go, gosh, it's 460 bucks and I can, defend the home out of it. Guys, you can get a reasonable revolver in that $450, $500 range used sometimes. You know what else you can get? A quality semi-automatic pistol for another 50, 60 bucks. You go up here, you're talking in the Smith & Wesson in the Governor line. Obviously Smith & Wesson makes high quality pistols, and you're talking about 800 bucks on this guy. For 800 bucks, I can get almost any of the modern semi-automatic pistols and go. Now straight up, if you wanted to go to a Model 29, now you're talking like 1,300 bucks. And that'd be a good price. In fact, I saw the price point on this one today here at azfirearms.com, and it's $12.99. You may not be able to buy this gun because I might buy it before I go home. We'll see if my wife will murder me for that, but maybe. But I would go with something like this far before. So listen, I just think these are bad choices, guys. And if you want to carry it, here's the straight truth. I'm not going to be at your gunfight. You're not going to be at mine. If you get in a gunfight with one of these, okay. I've never seen one work well in a defensive encounter. I've seen 410 snake shot not do a good job on people. I've seen people try to use these kinds of things and these gimmicks. The ballistics don't happen, and they just don't work. And so avoid these, please. These are not, and look at, this is big, bulky, heavy, hard to conceal. Just doesn't do the things that you need it to do. And so avoid these, please. When I see somebody carrying one of these, it tells me a couple things. It tells me that they either bought some marketing hype or they just don't know very much about defensive firearms. Please watch the channel, get some training and education, get to a gun store where a quality employee can kind of show you some options instead. Stay away from the pistol shotguns.